Welcome back to another episode of We Are again in Northander. And what we are gonna do is something very interesting. Well, it's basically the same thing we do every time. We'll continue with another mission. And this mission right now is gaining the alliance of the orcs. Let's do this. So, this might be in Barga Gor, to be honest. There's also a strange little thing here. That might be the... Also, look at this. 3 armies could get there. Iskander Wilds or elves from the north, humans from the west, and orcs from the east. I think. But yeah, this is still human-ish territory, but yeah. Green Coast. Oh, we can get to the Green Coast again. Okay. It's just not possible to go there once you... once you finish the... What was it? Once you finish Leaf Shade without helping them, I believe. Yeah, you don't get access to areas that are usually locked for some reason. Oh, there's also a desert. A very, very small desert. Alright. That was our little look around. So, foot of Barga Gor. Let's see. Power struggle. In the shadow of the eponymous mountain lies the wasteland, referred to as the foot of Barga Gor. It is home to the orcish tribe called the Fire Wielders, as well as to many unforgiving beasts, from the undead to demons. While most travelers stay away from Barga Gor, for this very reason, the Fire Wielders cherish their homeland's perils. According to orcish culture, only through constant conflict and danger can a people stay strong and persevere. Well, in this case, the constant fighting, constant conflict, constant danger is basically nothing more than some form of weeding out the weak. And in this case, yeah, actually, it's just a form of decision-making, really. And this environment, the constant conflict and so on, means that only the ones that can end conflict, either violently or otherwise, are the ones that are capable to roll the dice again, so to speak, and again and again. So in this case, the environment makes these people persevere. In this case, violent orcs, let's say. And if you have a peaceful environment where everything is there in abundance, you would have peaceful creatures propagating. And this is basically the difference there. If there's an abundance of resources, then people become more, well, let's not oversimplify this, but the tendency for more friendly people to arrive is much more than the tendency to fight, because if there's everything in abundance, you don't need to fight for it. Like, let's say you need water. I have water, you have water, so you need to get the water from me, right? You can just use your water and everything is fine. If there is a limit on the abundance, for some reason, then there's conflict arriving. And somehow, in today's society, this conflict arrives from the fact that land and the stuff on it is limited, or actually the ownership of this land and the things on it are limited, or made limited to the people that buy it or that can safeguard it through whatever means necessary, either by army or by contract. And this limits the ability of people to access whatever is on that land. Therefore, you have a struggle, because sometimes people need it and sometimes people don't. But if they need whatever's on that land, let's say there's a water source, this little pond, this little lake here. Now it's a pond, and the more I zoom in, the more lakey it becomes. Anyway, this lake would then be more precious, and people would actually be willing to give something in order to get access to the lake or to get water from the lake. So this is one way of making people fight with each other. And the fight in this case is economic in nature, like trading, exchanging things. This is just the same thing as the Foot of Barga Gor, basically. Just a different kind of face. So, do we need... Okay, only the main character? I'm not going for the... Well, I could go for the Dreamweaver, just in case. But to be honest, I need these strong ones. That's just so mean. Like, the Dreamweaver with all the auto hits and everything would be really cool. Maybe I could get rid of Yuria and get Iana in there. Damn it. Actually, what I think I could go for is Undergast and Iana as a secondary squad. But then, yeah, I would definitely need another one who is more tanky or whatever.
In the shadow of the eponymous mountain lies the wasteland referred to as the Foot of Barga Gor. It is home to the Orcish tribe called the Firewielders, as well as to many unforgiving beasts, from the undead to demons. While most travelers stay away from Barga Gor for this very reason, the Firewielders cherish their homeland's perils. According to Orcish culture, only through constant conflict and danger can a people stay strong and persevere.
All right, here we are. The Foot of Barga Gor.
That was quick.
And you still think this is a good idea?
I don't think we have a choice. We need all the allies we can find.
Now I can zoom in. Alright. Whoa, whoa. There is immediate, like really immediate, let's save real quick at the beginning of this level. So, as I said, immediate lightning. Ooh, that must be a goal.
If it isn't the dreaded corporal, I was just about to go on my own.
Well, you're in luck. It turns out we do need an ally. Troops, to be precise.
I had a feeling. And yes, I can help you, provided you help me first.
That was the deal. What do you want?
Your help in preventing a war.
Oh, from orcs that don't need war. That's interesting.
Preventing? I don't mean to be rude, but aren't your kind usually the ones who start them?
That's what most people think. Let me explain. The leader of our tribe is planning to reignite an old war. The War of the Six Races. In other words, he wants to send this world back into chaos.
Alright, if he likes to, then...
It's stupid and dangerous. But many of my brethren fail to see that.
Well...
Krell tells them that our tribe has become weak, and that by invading the Northander and the Elven Empire, we will teach the world to live in fear of us again, as it should be.
Okay, so their situation is they're weak. So because they're weak, they're going to invade. And then they want the other races to fear them. A weak race, in this case. Why would they want other races to fear them if they are weak? There's no reason to. It's just weird. There's no real reasoning in here that makes sense. Absolutely not. Because in the end they will still be weak, and other races will just attack them, and that's it. But the thing is that what they need is more strength somehow, but I don't know.
What they don't see is that no one would benefit from this war. The Firewielders would be wiped out. That's as sure as the sunrise. And both the humans and the elves would suffer greatly from this. Krell tells them that we'd be honoring the struggle. But we wouldn't. It's the act of a fool.
Yeah. What kind of struggle do you mean?
The struggle?
Ah, right. Sorry. I forgot that I'm talking to a pale skin. The struggle is the core of our culture.
Kind of depends. How does it come up? Like, how does it work?
At the heart of everything that lives, there's conflict. The wolf hunts the deer runs from the wolf. Without the deer's flesh, the wolf dies. But if there were no wolf, so would the deer. Why? Because without an enemy, it would breed with no constraint. It would procreate until there's no more plants for the deer to eat. Their peace would be their doom. And it's the same with every being. Where there's no conflict, there's stagnation. And stagnation leads to downfall. This is why there has to be the struggle.
Interesting idea. But yeah, the thing is, they see the struggle only between two parties, let's say the deer and the wolf. And they have to fight each other, right? But in this case, the struggle can have different phases. It does not necessarily need to be between... Well, it needs to be between two parties, but what these parties may be is totally up to people. So you can just make it up. In this case, or at least today, we are fighting Corona. It's a war against Corona. It's not that we are trying to heal it, it's that we are going to fight it. That is what people are talking about. They're always talking about fighting Corona. They're not talking about curing it or healing the people. They're talking about fighting it, stopping it. It's a very, very military-ish kind of wording, if you think about it, or narrative. So they fight it as you would fight another race in this case. Except that there is no such thing as a Corona race. In this case, the struggle is completely made up. You can just make up an enemy and fight it. In this case, you can fight poverty, or fight pollution, or fight cutting down of the rainforest, or fight problems with machines. In this case, or inefficiency of machines. You can also fight that. In this case, it would be a more scientific approach, and in the end, you would end up with more advanced machinery. So what you end up, fighting is low productivity. This is what the struggle is. It's just a different way of looking at it.
But we shouldn't discuss this now. All you need to know is that Krell's actions are a threat. Not only to the orcs, but also the other races.
Why then?
What is this Krell hoping to gain from it, then?
Well, there's two reasons. First of all, the Bloodburn.
Why does he want to get the Bloodburn?
So the orcs are suffering from it too.
Yes, not as much as you humans do. But there have been outbreaks in some of the tribes. Krell claims that the humans and the elves have manufactured it to wipe us out. Which is why that war would be justified.
Interesting. Playing this game right now is so fascinating because there are so many similarities. It's amazing.
That's absurd.
Yes, and he knows it too. But that doesn't stop him from using it to rally the clans behind him nonetheless. And that's the second reason. Krell is a self-obsessed fool. He became High Chieftain with lies and false promises. And people have started to see through that. So now he has no choice but to act.
He's cornered, so to speak. But what is your plan then?
I see. And what do you intend to do?
Why can't I just turn around?
Stop him.
Of course.
Orc culture is based on two pillars. Strength and wisdom. And I will show him the power of the second one.
And
By
how
allying
so?
with a human and defeating Krell, the Fire Wielders will see that even an unlikely alliance can result in strength.
So you want to fight him?
Challenge him. But since he's a coward, I doubt he'll accept. Which is what you're here for. There's a second plan if the first one fails.
Which is assassination, capture. And in return, I'll get troop. Well,
And in return, I'll get troops.
we are kind of greedy about it, right?
Yes. If I stop Krell, I will have the whole Fire Wielder tribe behind me. And I'll give you enough orcish craftsmen and warriors to support your cause.
Oh, that is nice. Agreed.
Agreed. When are you planning to challenge him?
Now, he has agreed to meet me. And I was just about to leave. One more thing. What's your name?
It's interesting that he asks about the name at the end.
Tahar.
Good. Then let us be off, Tahar. Krell will meet us northeast from here.
I don't know if he knows Isamo Tahar or not. Sindiria away, St. Iskrim away, St. Rowan away. Okay. Who am I gonna send away? I kinda like to have my dwarf nearby, but I would rather have Rowan because he seems to be more tanky. Or is it? No, Iskrim is more tanky, but Rowan does more damage. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna get rid of Rowan. So let's see. Now we got Gor. Alright. What kind of items can we put on Gor then? Gor is what? Gor is a shapeshifter. Focus cost of abilities is reduced by 5%. So 5% times, again, this much, 30% maximum. Shapeshift into a wolf. Okay, so you can shapeshift into a wolf or bear. Very interesting. What does it do else? A dire wolf, so it's the better form of a wolf. Then we have a bear and into a war bear. What about this one? Surak's Might. Deal bonus damage against the light races. Humans, dwarves, and elves. And deal bonus damage against the light races, humans, dwarves, and elves. Gain passive health regeneration. Okay. So this dude is really good if you have a specific enemy that you want to fight. Otherwise, not necessarily as potent. Also, he's black magic and elementalism user, so that means I can use him to have an earthquake squad. So Rowan, Gor, and Iskrim, and yourself, if you have elementalism, you can just topple every building with earthquake, just like that. And then, woof, main building gone. Okay, what else we got? We got fire totem. Okay, well, how does that work? Constitution? Constitution. So, if he is a shapeshifter, he benefits from Constitution an awful lot, which is weird, because it makes him powerful in two different forms. How does it work? Effect duration 45 seconds, it's the same. Cooldown at the rest is also the same. The focus point cost is also the same. Very interesting. So, next level, fire totem. Summon a totem that inflicts fire damage to all enemies around it. Okay, so the cooldown is actually lower than the effective duration. That means I can use it all the time, basically. It just takes a very long while to actually cast it. And this one is just the cooldown that gets reduced by a certain amount of time, and not the cast speed. So, summons a totem that inflicts fire damage to all enemies around it. Summons a totem that inflicts fire damage to all enemies around it with an increased frequency and radius. Okay, more often, more better. Then, what about this one? Summon a totem that applies impaired and weaken to all enemies around it. It also has a chance to stun them. Okay, it has a chance to stun them. It does not necessarily... Yeah, but the rest is 100% certain. So you either go for intelligence, willpower, or constitution. But in this case, I have no idea how the damage is calculated if you are in a shapeshift form. Do you need to be like... does it all just go with strength, or how does it work? Also, if I'm going for shapeshifting, then I don't need to have an awfully high amount of cooldown reduction, because it just works whatever. And this perk here, yeah, passive health regeneration is always great. Let's just see. We are going to use his shapeshift form. Let's apply that real quick. And also, I want to know what happens if I click on this one, because the health regeneration is at 1 per second. And now nothing happens. Okay, again, passive health regeneration. We have the health regeneration, but somehow I don't know if I regenerate at all. So let's just maximize his constitution here, so that the shapeshift works. Then I can do spell power. Okay, leech auto attack. That was also really helpful. Then what else do I need? It's only the earthquake that I would really be interested in. The rest, not so much. Yeah. Not so much the rest, though. On here, what could I use in here? I could use... There's only willpower, intelligence. There's only willpower, intelligence, and a little bit of constitution, but we don't care about that. So, what I'm gonna do here is Oh, wait a minute. I have to upgrade these two spells as well. Then, yeah, now they can be used almost all the time. Leech 3% of all auto attacks, and spell power. I don't know if the spell power boost also boosts the these spells here. I have no idea how this is calculated. It could help. The next fire spell is empowered, the next ice spell is empowered. Yeah, sure. Ice abilities cost 20% less focus to cast. It's these two that get slightly better. But this one is siege damage in nature, so... How do we boost siege damage? So you don't need this and you don't need that if you're going for earthquakes. But you can use this, the fire might spell. Constitution. Intelligence, willpower. So you have a willpower side, that's also very weird. You have a willpower side and you have an intelligence side. Very interesting. Okay, let's leech an awful lot of health from those spells. Yeah, all of that is just willpower, basically. Okay. I don't have another spell for him to cast, though, which is a bit iffy. Also, I don't know where to place the remaining points into, because, nah. I don't know what other spells to use. Summon a turn that inflicts fire damage to all. Increase frequency and radius. Okay, so the area of effect and totem thingy is a bit more present. Deals fire damage, fire cast, Move upon casting and fireballs damage is increased. Sure. To all enemies in the target area, but only once. 1 second card. Okay, you can use it awful lot. But I could also try to boost his willpower by a ton. Oh no, wait a minute. This is just 10 seconds. Wait a minute, what did I actually apply that point into? Yeah, wait a minute. I can click on apply, but nothing would really change. That's weird. Shouldn't it be grayed out then? So, back to the whole inventory situation. So, Gor needs what? Intelligence, Constitution, Willpower. Nice mix, but interesting. He can actually wear that stuff. So, what kind of armor would be beneficial? An awful lot of defenses would be great. And yeah, let's just give him this stuff. Then what else do we have? Fresh start thingy can go. Crest amulet of Creator's Guild. We have a rare ring with some more resistances. There we go. A little bit more white and black resistance would be sweet. But we have black resistance and fire, but no. Additional damage type white would also be pretty sweet on him. We could also just get some more focus altogether. There we go. White and black resistance. So everything is now evened out a little bit. Also his face looks kind of weird. Bit too large for his for the rest of his body. But okay. So this one is more magical resistances. Immunity against crit hits? Yes. Let's give him that. Like, now he is kind of like a fiery, fiery paladin. All right. Now, what kind of thingy would he benefit from? He could definitely utilize the dagger. Deals black damage in a small area of effect. Well, the area of effect would be pretty sweet. But why don't I just go for dual wield, like Tiara's Betrayer against humans, and this one here. So now the difference is, what kind of damage do we want? 10 and 12, it's the same. Yeah, the numbers are also the same, so it doesn't really matter. I don't have... Oh, wait a minute. I could just use a green weapon if the minimum values are there. So this dagger would be really good. But no. I would not have as much crit. But the crit is not that important, is it? It's a deep... Yeah, the DPS are slightly different. And this is a strength weapon. This is dexterity. That's where the differences are. Interesting. I want to actually give him slightly different stuff to attack with. A magical one with a bit more attack speed. This one, no, this is an axe. All of the thingies are the same. Okay. All of them are the same. But yeah, let's give him more attack speed with this. Maybe that helps. So let's make him turn into whatever. A... Whoa. Interesting. So if he is in this form, he has claws. Some armor. I should have checked this one before. That is not good. Like, he has some interesting resistance. He cannot wear items in this form. How am I gonna end that? If I cannot right click on this little icon, and there's a certain timer going down telling me that I have to wait so and so long until this is gone. The problem with all of this is that it is decent resistances. There's just a problem here. They're not good enough. This is 400 and whatnot. If I just give him these abilities, then he would benefit much more. Unbelievable. Unbloody believable. Okay, now what about the... also the focus costs are a bit of a problem here. He doesn't regenerate as much as I would like it to. Okay, let's try this one here. And see where his stats go. Okay, they still go lower a little bit. His health goes up dramatically. The damage seems to go up. The crit is not there. Also, the attack speed goes down. And there's a decent amount of block. So the bear has an interesting tendency here. But I have to say that the whole shape-shifting tree itself doesn't seem to be that good. Also, the stats are at 0, so that's kind of weird. I think the stats depend on how good your constitution is. I already maxed it, so this happens. And I end up with 0 focus. And let's just wait until this one goes down. I think... yeah. I'm not regenerating any focus, so I end up with 0 focus, so the whole dude gets absolutely unusable if he's going into this... yeah, this tree. So turning him into direwolves or warbears or whatever doesn't seem to be that good. So the only abilities that I could place on him are yeah, fire totems or elementalism that increases the spell power as well. So get this, upgrade the fire totem, and yeah, somehow still end up with this perk if it's humans and dwarves that I need to fight. But what's the highest? 20. I can get 20% cooldown reduction. The cooldown are at 15 seconds, so 20% are... what was the other one? 5 times 6, yeah, 30. So that's a fifth, so we are going for a reduction of 3 seconds. That is 12 seconds overall. Almost as much as the effect duration. So if you end up with this one maxed out, you have 30%, which is roughly a third, meaning you have cooldowns of 11 seconds, let's say, which is just 1 second more than the actual effect duration. So you can spam this spell multiple times. The problem that I have, though, is that his focus regeneration does not happen at all if he is in any kind of war, direwolf, warbear, whatever form. Like, you use up focus points and the whole thing gets zeroed. And you can't do anything. So let's go for the direwolf here real quick. See what happens. Yeah, the whole thing gets zeroed, so he's basically useless. That's a little bit of an annoying situation here. Because now I have to figure out a way to make this dude usable somewhat. I can't... Where are the constitution abilities? There's a constitution down here. There is... yeah, there's the... only 2 constitution abilities. 3, 4. Maybe this one as well. And this one here. The whole stun capability, but I'm not able to use that in bear form too. And now we are regenerating slowly but surely. That's really iffy. Like or maybe it's level dependent and it gets better at later stages, but for now it's useless. It is not good enough to compete with whatever I have planned for him. So let's just give him more fire totem thingies here. Also, I have a reduction of 5 seconds, so how does it change now? It is still 15 seconds. Yeah, still 15 seconds, so 5% does not seem to be that much. 10% would be 1 second reduction, but the other one that I would benefit more from would be spell power. So let's take this one here. And okay, which spell should I go for? V. Wait a minute. Not this one, the spell book. Okay, so we have 3 spells. Let's move this up a little bit. There we go. It's really annoying. Oh, wait a minute. Why don't I just... why don't I just reload the thing before, so I don't need to...
So, what's the plan?
Use up a potion. But okay. Let's just keep him as is, because I don't seem to have any other use for him.
Interesting.
Oh, that's just iffy. And actually, this is a good time to end this little introduction to Gore and continue with another episode at another time. This was a pure Gore episode, really. Not with an E at the end, but just G-O-R. Sorry about that, but yeah, another one is coming any moment. Until then, like and subscribe, of course. Ta-ta!